Hello everyone, Marc Daniel Patrick here, musical theater coach. Thank you so much for taking time to check out the channel. And just before we get started here, I do want to remind you that we have a brand new Patreon page we just launched featuring comment reaction videos, interviews with industry professionals, behind the scenes content, and so much more. But the main goal of this Patreon page is to help us give back to the arts and theater community who desperately needs our help. Once we've hit our goal of 1,000 patrons, we could start making large sum donations to arts charities and theaters around the globe. It is only $4 a month, and it will always be only $4 a month, so please find the link below and help us give back to the theater community that has given us so much. Pasek and Paul, the writing and composing duo that met at the University of Michigan and went on to win the Jonathan Larson Award in 2007, has had an incredible run since 2016, winning 2 Golden Globe Awards, an Academy Award, a Grammy, and a Tony. And we can only imagine there are more Oscars on the way, as the film adaptation of Dear Evan Hansen recently began production in 2020. To celebrate this incredible musical, this is Gabrielle Carrubba and Jordan Fisher performing the song If I Could Tell Her.
He thought you were awesome.
He thought I was awesome? My brother?
Definitely.
How?
Well, he said, there's nothing like your smile, sort of subtle and perfect and real. He said, you never knew how wonderful that smile could make someone feel.
I love me some subtlety. You have no idea. Obviously, you do if you've been watching this channel, but there has to be a better way to translate subtlety into musical theater. And that's got to be one of the most popular comments I get on this channel, is that the subtlety I talk about wouldn't actually translate on the stage. And I think we need to trust audiences a lot more than we do. I would say that Dave in the back row of the balcony would want to watch and experience something real on stage rather than being hit with all this projection, right? So everyone assumes that once you get on stage, all of a sudden now you need to make your performance bigger than life. I would say, and we're slowly starting to chip away at that, but I would say, no, just keep it real. Keep it in the moment, keep experiencing or discovering new things in the piece, and just keep it to that simple moment. Instead of feeling like you need to project and make all 400 people in the auditorium truly feel your energy, keep it in, keep it subtle, play the truth of the scene, and I promise you, any true theater or musical theater fan or a fan of the arts, they'll feel it. They'll experience it. If they're engaged in your performance, if you're helping them get engaged with the performance, they will feel it. Trust me.
And he knew whenever you get bored, you scribble stars on the cuffs of your jeans. And he noticed that you still fill out the quizzes that they put in those teen magazines. But he kept it all inside his head. What he saw, he left unsaid. And though he wanted to, he couldn't talk to you. He couldn't find a way. But he would always say,
I get very Roger from Rent vibes in his voice. And obviously, I think the influences of Jonathan Larson are really in Pasek and Paul for sure. And I couldn't ask for any more. As a huge Jonathan Larson fan, obviously in the awards and the accolades and their success is so much proof of that. But for Jordan here, vocally, I love this airy quality he has in his voice. He's able to push just the right amount of air through to make it that subtle, very soft sort of sound of sort of comforting, really. And I love that tone that he's able to create there, which is really quite nice. And everything about this song is really just his love letter to Zoe, right? He didn't plan it. He's got to now wrap it up into sort of a little bow that says this is actually your brother talking, when really it's him. So yes, a lot of it he's making up on the spot to try and fool her into thinking it's her brother. But really all of this is, he's thought about this before. He's dreamed about, having this moment alone with her and getting to tell her that he loves her. It's a little bit weird and twisted that he now needs to or that he's going to try and tell her that in the form of her dead brother. But you know, that's that's this musical in a nutshell, really.
If I could tell her everything I see. If I could tell her how she's everything to me. But we're a million worlds apart, and I don't know how I would even start. If I could tell her, if I could tell her.
That's beautiful. That head voice up into his falsetto is just beautiful. And he's got a little bit of I'm going to call it an intentional crack to get up there. It kind of just breaks down a little bit, gives you a little bit more emotion into that. Maybe he needs it to get up there, but it really works emotionally. That little subtle crack in his voice to get up there is just really quite beautiful. Now, I would like to see him sing this live to see if he needs to move his head or change his facial expressions at all to be able to round out and get that sound out. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. It sounds beautiful either way.
Did he say anything else?
About you?
Never mind, I don't really care anyway.
No, he said so many things. I'm just trying to remember the best ones. He thought you looked really pretty. It looked pretty cool when you put indigo streaks in your hair.
He did?
And he wondered how you learned to dance like all the rest of the world isn't there.
Oh, I love the variation in this writing. Once you get used to the melody and the rhythm of how they're writing, they all of a sudden just flip it on their head and give you something different. As an actor, gives you something different to play with, and even as an audience member, just gives you something different to listen to. So the two phrases, indigo streaks in your hair and the rest of the world isn't there. You think that those melodies are going to follow each other because that's the pattern that they've built in, but all of a sudden they flip it on its head, right? So it's indigo streaks in your hair. The rest of the world isn't there. All of a sudden, they decide to switch up that second melody, and it gives you, as a performer, I love those moments because it gives you a reason to hold on to that. So the line is, the rest of the world isn't there, and it gives you a chance to make the rest of the world disappear. It gives you a chance to really believe in what you're saying and just forget about the rest of the world and just slide on that note just for a brief moment. And it's such perfect writing. I love how subtle it is, but it keeps you out of the same rhythm all the time and gives your actor something to really play with.
But he kept it all inside his head. What he saw, he left unsaid. If I could tell her everything I see. If I could tell her how she's everything to me. But we're a million worlds apart, and I don't know how I would even start.
It's kind of a blessing and a curse to have a film version of this. You get to play those intimate moments where you can really see what the actor is experiencing and feeling in the moment, but then you're also victim to whatever the camera shot gives you, right? So where on stage, you can watch whoever you want for as long as you want. And that's why, as an actor on stage, you can never turn off. In film, a lot of times, it's coverage, right? So a lot of times you'll have their shot and then your shot, their shot and your shot. And, you should be in it all the time to give your fellow actor something. But a lot of times maybe you're not. But on stage, you can never turn off because you never know who's actually watching you while you're on stage. And I say all of that just because I love his acting choices here, right? Jordan is giving us this genuine reactions in the moment, and I kind of love his choices here, where just that subtle surprise of, oh my God, she started singing with me. This is actually kind of working. This whole crazy weird plan that I have is actually kind of working, and I just really give him props for the acting choices he's making here, because for me it's genuine and believable and really works for this scene.
If I could tell her.
I get so caught up in this song and in this scene. It's quite good. Their blend is really great, right? The two of them together. Again, you hope that's not some audio post-production to make them sound so equivalent and make them blend so well. But we've talked about it before. That should be your goal on stage is to get that blend, allow that the two voices to become one, and really allow the audience to relax and just enjoy the blend and the harmony and the chemistry you're creating on stage in front of them.
But we're a million worlds apart. I don't know how I would even start if I could tell her, if I could.
This music is so good. Oh my god. It's going to make such an incredible film, truly. I mean, the story of this musical is something that really needs to be talked about openly and discussed a lot more, especially in our society today. It needs to be a conversation that comes to the forefront, right? Mental illness can't hide in the shadows anymore. It needs to be something that's talked about and discussed openly to help those who are suffering with it every day. But the music in this, my God, it just deserves all the attention in the world. And I'm so glad something like a major motion picture will really give it all of the attention it deserves. Okay, that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go ahead and click the link and join our Patreon page below and help us give back to the theater community. Until next time, I'm Mark Daniel Patrick, and thanks so much for watching.